Hey, welcome to Blue Jay Banner. If you're looking, we didn't have a show yesterday, so apologize for not letting you know that, but we got a show today. So thanks for joining us. Mike Rochon with me. Hope you enjoy like some of the smaller little enhancements we began making here this year. A little bit different look on the screen. We got a new band, so that's good.
Yeah.
And some of the other things that we're going to put down as we're talking, we're going to give you a little background into, some of the stats and so forth that we discuss. We don't really get into them. And this way we're able to keep on talking, and still you can read down below what's going on. So hope you enjoy those. Thanks so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a ton. We were just discussing yesterday, we're doing some prep work for the new season and the post-game show and so forth. And we're just discussing we're all guilty of going on YouTube's and not hitting subscribe, even though it's something we really like. So we know you are too. I mean, it's just common nature, but we try to make it easy for you. There's a little button in the lower right. If you're watching on a computer or a laptop, all you got to do is click that and you're subscribed. It helps us out a ton. So please hit that subscribe button as we move forward. We got some big things planned for you. We'll talk about them in a minute. But first, I want to talk about Infusion Brewing. Go to Infusion Brewing. You can check out all their hours of operation on infusionbrewing.com. Generally, their tasting rooms open at 4 and during the week and longer on the weekends, obviously. Great place to go unwind, especially on a dreary day like this after work. Go to have a beer down at Infusion. You can get flights and test out all their beers and try them all out and see which ones you like the best. I know this weekend we're going to a place that's serving Infusion. They're serving the Vanilla Bean, which is a very popular brand. Soon all the fall beers will be out. So check it all out. That's Infusion Brewing at infusionbrewing.com. So tomorrow we're going to have, Thursday. Thursday we're going to have Coach Jeff Vanderloo on. Lou announced his retirement. He was longtime director of basketball operations here at Creighton. Before that, a decorated career coaching in Iowa. So we're just going to talk about his career, and obviously his time at Creighton and what led to, Mac left, so maybe he just felt it was time. I know he's been spending a lot of time up in Okoboji, so good for him.
Yeah.
So we'll sit down with him. Then on Friday, something everybody's been asking for. So we got head coach Brian Rosen on as the volleyball season starts cranking up and practice going full bore. So you'll want to see that. And then next Monday, Mike and I'll be back to cover a few topics. And then we'll also announce next Monday a very special show that's coming up on Wednesday that you will not. Am I right, Mike?
Yeah.
If you've been a fan,
I'm super
if you've been
excited.
a fan for now, if you've only been a fan 5 years, you'd probably be like, eh. Yeah. If you've been a fan for 20 years or more, you will want to watch that show a week from tomorrow.
Yeah. It's awesome.
It's going to be special. All right. So, excuse me, Mike and I were at practice on last Thursday. Last Friday was the final practice of the summer workout / practice season. They now all went home for the most part, and they'll come back to school here at the end of August. And once they come back to school, then practice will ramp up for good. And I know with some people it's a little bit weird because, we used to have that. I think October 15th was the day when practice started. That's long since gone away.
Right. Yeah.
So, anyway, so we thought we'd kind of wrap things up for the summer and see what we can do. I guess first of all, just I can just say from day one till now, I saw a lot of growth in guys. I saw a lot of there's a lot of detailed defensive stuff that they've gone over the whole last couple months. Some of that's still not perfect. Huss wants it perfect. Like he wants things to be more natural. And I think I told Al this the other day. I said, I think when they come back, I think you'll see them be more, they're thinking too much. You can just see it in some cases, especially the newer guys. So I think when they come back, it'll be more relaxed. And because of all that defensive work, and I'm telling you, I keep saying this to people, and they just kind of eye roll, and you're going to be blown away with the defense. Like, I think maybe
Oh
I'm
yeah.
over exaggerating, but I just think you're going to be so impressed with the different type of defense they're running this year. And it's probably not all that different. It's just certain things have changed. Certain little pieces here and there have changed, which make it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, with the size of, Oswin and then Rosa, you're still going to have some elements to the drop coverage that Creighton was playing, with Kalkbrenner and things like that. But, with the forcing to the baseline and the trapping baseline, that wasn't a thing. Kalkbrenner rarely went outside the lane. This is another aspect, and you gotta, we've talked about it a lot, is the guards that Creighton has now with Bug and BJ Davis and Wes. These guys are going to be able to get up and guard. And, last week, when I was sitting there waiting and talking with Austin Chapman, he brought that up too with these guys, and how uncomfortable you can make offenses when you just don't let them dribble down the floor and easily get into the offense. These guards that Creighton has, they are not going to let you do that. And I cannot wait to see it and watch the frustration of the other teams, because I know as a Creighton fan, we've felt it. So I can't wait for it.
And then I think the big move forward when they get back will be from that part, frustrating them, to getting into the offensive flow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Vice versa, on transition, putting that defense in place on a transition. That
Right.
seems to be the problem right now too. They're not
Absolutely.
they're not getting they're not getting into their defensive set. When they're able to go just a half court set, yeah,
Yep.
it's just not a problem.
Yep. Yeah, and there was a few times, kind of at the end of practice on Thursday, when they were doing some up and back. Huss was stopping practice multiple times to get on these guys. And a big thing, and you and I have put this in a lot of these podcasts and a lot of our stuff over on the message boards, that is all about communication. And if you're talking to guys on the way down the floor saying, I got ball, you got corner, like, if you're communicating, that makes it so much easier to get situated. Well, they weren't doing that. And there were multiple times they had to stop and do 10 push ups, and they had to do length of the floor sprints. So, you could tell that maybe, like I said, they were a little bit tired and ready to get their break. But this is high level basketball, and the coaches don't care. So
Yeah. And by the way, when they do the sprints, if Bug cares and Bug
yeah,
runs as fast as he can, he is done, and the closest guy is not to the free throw line yet. I mean,
it's
he's
it's
so
ridiculous.
fast.
It's ridiculous.
It's
It's
crazy.
it's insane. It's a lot of fun to watch. That's for sure.
A lot of fun too is to go to Vino Moss. Vino Moss, two great locations, one in Legacy, one in Eagle Run. We've been talking about their great wine club and so forth, and now we're talking about their passport. Their passport is kind of like a reward system. So you go in next time you go to Vino Moss, if you don't already have one, go and ask for a passport. And then they have different categories. They have different categories of wines. You can check off. They will stamp them if you had one from California, or one from Italy, or one from France, whatever. And then they have the different blends. And when you reach certain levels along the way, you get bonuses, whether it be a discount price on wine, a free glass of wine, a free bottle of wine, a charcuterie board, whatever. It's a great, great system. Just make sure you bring your passport. Like, once you get it, you got to bring it the next time. They can't start you a new one. So my wife was distressed. She forgot hers the other night. So anyway, go to Vino Moss. It's a great deal. It's a lot of fun too. People are having a lot of fun with it. So check it out. That's Vino Moss at vinomoss.com. Yeah, so the last practice I want to say was, yeah, like, I stopped a few times about the communication thing. I know what he wants, but I mean, I think A, I know what he's trying to do here. He's trying to get it to be a habit, not just forced, you know. But to me, it's way more communicative than they have in the past. Number one.
Yep.
Number two, when you're getting into a game in the heat of the game, and that's what he's trying to do, I know, so it becomes second nature, but it's really hard
Oh yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah.
especially in a hostile environment where it's loud.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think you're right on the point where he's trying to just make it so you're not thinking about it. And, we talked about this is I think that's the biggest thing is, a lot of these guys' heads are going 5,000 miles an hour. And, so, they're thinking about being in the right spot. Oh man, I forgot to talk. I forgot to put my left foot, this certain direction, and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think I think that's a big thing. Is I think that they, um, I think that it's just a lot for them right now. And you can kind of see towards the end, it was, we had some very, not making excuses. We had a really hot summer, and things like that. And these guys are just, I think they were just, they were tired. And the coaching staff was really, the two practices I was at, they were really on these guys, and that takes a toll on you, and you're constantly thinking. So I think the mental exhaustion got to them a little bit, and this month off that they're going to have is going to be massive for them, and they'll come back at the start of school and they'll be ready to go. And I'm sure those first couple practices are going to be awesome. So
Yeah, and the practice was very physical too, and it mostly was like defensive some, but really rebounding. But
yeah,
I mean, we've been telling big this Rosa is. Rosa just laid out Jason Green at one
yeah,
point. Like you're
yeah,
talking about Jason Green, who was put together. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Um, Oswin took a beating.
yeah,
West did not practice the last practice. He just had his wisdom teeth pulled out, so nothing to worry about. But you could tell he really wanted to. He was out there coaching.
yeah. He was out there
um,
coaching, picking guys up. Yeah, it was awesome.
yeah, I know Hudson was in the mix on some of that physicality. So it's yeah, it's
Cottrell
pretty.
got busted open. So
Oh, twice. Yeah,
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 so
yeah. But what I was impressed with, he took the elbow, and the elbow happened on. The other thing you're going to notice too, not that you didn't notice other years, but this year they're taking it to the 10th degree here. Um, that ball goes on the floor. There's 5 guys on the floor. I mean, well,
yeah,
in this case, 10 guys on the floor, and that's
yeah,
how Cottrell got a little elbow to
yep,
the little right above the eye.
yep.
But that's what it is. They're just going for the basketball, man. They're I love seeing that. I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely.
it's just like when the ball just hits the floor and starts rolling, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Car
Right.
crash.
Right. Yeah,
It's
and you are, because it is a practice and you're going against your own guys, you do just hope that nobody gets hurt. You love the physicality, you love things like that, but it just takes one wrong fall, one thing like that, and things. But again, you can't change it because if you do it in practice, it's just going to be second nature, and you're going to do it in the game. And that's what this crowd, with CHI needs. You need a guy diving on the floor for a loose ball.
yeah.
I mean, I think we all look back to that year, the COVID year. That play at Seton Hall where Damian Jefferson sprints by 2 guys, dives on the floor, gets it, throws it back to Zagorowski for a layup. Those are the things that just are, you'll never forget those plays. And, CHI seeing 5 guys diving on the floor, everybody will be up out of their seats.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that'll get the crowd going. And then, we talked a little bit about the offense. I thought the offense was a little better on the
Yeah.
last ding. But, if you're going to talk about a guy, Bug Edwards had a hell of a practice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was from, I think what I went to practice like 2 weeks before that, and just the evolution of his game. I was super impressed. he didn't hesitate at all. He had an open shot. He pulled the trigger. It was, you could just tell how much more comfortable he was in the 2 weeks from the practice I was at to last Thursday. And he was, man, he was really impressive.
Yeah, very much so. Interesting that, Wes was out, so then they did a point guard drill, but they had Swartz with the point guards. That was interesting.
It
I
was.
think probably because you got Wes over there. You can float obviously Bug over there. You could float Hudson over there. You could put
Yeah.
Jason Green. I mean, you got a lot of options at the two. So I think they're kind of looking at, okay, if we get an injury here, we've got to have somebody else ready to go. Obviously it'll be BJ and Cottrell will be the main guys, but they're I think, also trying to look for ways to get Swartz on the floor. Now,
Yeah.
Swartz is, I don't know if he's behind, but he seemed behind to me because he had to sit out with the recovering from the foot surgery. So, he was a little behind in the defensive drills, I think, and
Yeah.
he tried to kind of make up for it on the offensive end, which,
That's
probably isn't the
never a
best
good
thing.
idea.
No, but, I think just that way. So that's just, I think, more reps probably. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Getting him more reps. Also, like, if you watch, Swartz last year, obviously he's going to be different this year. You can already tell his body's changed. He's slimmer, but you know I don't think he's not the most physical guy, whether it be on the offensive or the
yeah,
defensive end. So I think putting him out there, and this drill is pretty cool, where Justin Carter just hands the guard the ball, and then the defensive guy is right on him. And so I think that's another thing is like, you know, is BJ Davis is going to be right there guarding you, Austin. Like, how are you going to handle his physicality? And I think that's another thing they want to see with him. Like, how are you going to handle the physicality? Because not only the non-conference schedule, but then you get into Big East play. Like, it's going to be physical, and you kind of see that. Early in Big East play, he was pretty solid, and then I think that physicality caught up to him, and he wasn't as effective. So I think that's another thing, because then they switched it, and he had to guard BJ, and Huss stopped it. And he's like, BJ makes you so uncomfortable. Why don't you do it back to him? And I think that's another thing they're trying to get Swartz to like attack. Be a physical basketball player.
yeah, and you BJ, it just comes so natural, just coming from San Diego State and the way
Absolutely.
they play. Like he's just natural with it, where Swartz is a little bit unnatural with it,
Yep.
right now.
Yep.
But BJ's just very natural with it, and so forth. I want to talk about, before we get to one last topic to wrap this up, I want to talk about RTI Threads. Go to rtathreads.com. It's time to start like getting your gear game in shape. So fall sports rapidly approaching. So, much as basketball, you need gear to go to the volleyball games, probably more short sleeve tees, lighter weight stuff. Then you got soccer games, you're going to need more heavier stuff, fleeces and so forth. So they've got it all. So check it all out at RTI Threads. Katie and staff do a wonderful job. So we'll be connecting with them here in the next week too to get some more information on what's going on with them. So check it all out. That's RTI Threads, rtithreads.com. I've been asked this several times, uh, the crazy world of college athletics. So now some judge said, oh yeah, the guys who I think were freshmen in 22, am I getting this right? We're freshmen in 22 can
Yes.
now get that fifth
Yes.
year,
Yes.
because before they said, no, we're starting it now.
Right.
Um, and so people said, well, you can't, who can, man, I don't see anybody from our team last year.
No.
I mean, somebody mentioned Dix, but he got a two-way now, so I think he's
Oh
in
yeah.
decent shape there. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Now, could somebody else from another team think? But here's my problem is, so let's say there is somebody else out there and they say, yeah, I want to come play Creighton. So you bring in a Creighton. number one, you got to have money because these
Right.
guys are either going overseas or what have you, G League, what have you. Number two, how do you know there's not going to be a judge next week that says,
Yep.
yeah, I'm overriding that? So
Yep.
I haven't heard of anybody really going crazy about it.
Right.
Um, but anyway,
Yeah. Yeah, I
uh,
mean, I think what you mentioned. The biggest thing is most of these teams, you don't have a lot left in your NIL. You just
right.
don't. There's going to be some teams, that can probably make a couple phone calls and get a guy covered for the year. But like you said, so you're going to make that phone call and he's going to sign his contract for whatever, 500 or 800 or whatever. And then in 2 weeks, a new judge is going to come and say, no, let's not. And so then what are you going to do? So, yeah, it would be tough. And these guys, you and I talked about this, the continuity that we've seen with this team. So are you going to take the chance to bring somebody in, that can mess this up and take somebody's position and Scott, the way we're talking with this depth that Creighton has, like you're going to bring somebody in to possibly mess with that and make it even harder on
Yeah.
us and staff. It's going to be very, very challenging. But like, man, if there's a guy that you know that checks all the boxes, it would be tough to not bring him in.
Yeah. And, I get this so much. Like, I get the sense, like, especially people who haven't watched practice, like, I get the sense from talking to people that ask me questions. I get the sense they're really worried about point guard. Like, we don't have a point guard. Like, we need a point guard. I'm telling you, we got 2 point guards,
Yeah,
probably 3, and Swartz should throw in his 4.
yeah,
We're not hurting there, guys. We're
no,
not hurting there. And the
no,
2 we got, the 2 that are going to see the primary duties at point guard are really good.
oh yeah,
Really good.
yeah.
I'm telling you, Harmon is really good.
Yeah, and they may not be the natural point guard that you've seen in Mac's system, like in Ashworth, things like that. But I don't think that Huss necessarily plays like that. Like he doesn't need that true, like point guard. So that's why Cottrell and BJ and I mean you can throw Bug, you can throw Wes, like these guys are gonna be able to handle the ball, get the ball off the floor, and get Creighton into their offense, and that's what it's about. Just do you have
Yeah.
guys that get you into the offense? It doesn't matter if
I'm
they're
telling you, though,
true.
BJ and Cottrell, I
Oh yeah,
mean, they
absolutely.
look like point guards, and they can get to the rack, man.
Yep.
I mean, um, yeah. I think BJ's
Cottrell's
probably a
different,
little
man.
more BJ's probably a little more comfortable distributing the ball,
Yeah,
but because Cottrell's a freshman, but Cottrell
yeah.
can make things happen.
Oh yeah, he's different, man. He is different in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we really haven't seen, because Wes has been in and out of the lab, we really haven't seen him much at the point, but he can handle that easily from what we've
Yeah.
seen. Like, he is a distributor, so. All right.
Uh, I do want to give a shout out because we didn't mention him because I know he's kind of the forgotten guy, but our guy IT, man, he had an amazing
Another good
practice
practice.
on
Yeah.
Thursday. He was outstanding. We talked about like he is going to get open shots and he has to make them. Well, he did. So, yeah,
Yeah, just his whole game. Yeah, there's
yeah,
little things you don't maybe notice or show up on the stat sheet, but he's doing them.
yep,
He's understanding Trout's system really well.
yep,
So, yeah, he stacked another good day. So.
oh yeah.
All right, Michael. Don't forget, Thursday we'll have Coach Lou, and then Friday, Coach Brian Rosen. So make sure and hit those shows, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a lot. Thank you, Michael. Have a great day, everybody.
Go Jays.